Hello, everyone. Welcome to Filmmaker Review. This is Thomas.
This is Jay.
And today we are joined by Rayn Lain, the award-winning actress from Knoxville.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And today we are going to talk about whatever we can, because we have never made a podcast before, and this should be a blast.
Stick around.
Who knows what we're going to get into at this point?
My voice sucks. I hate doing this.
It's only when you hear yourself talking.
I know.
I've gotten to where I actually don't mind and kind of enjoy hearing myself on recording, because in my brain I can kind of separate it out into being something or someone different. That's because I had to get used. Film school was like, you will watch yourself and you will listen to yourself every single freaking day.
I would miss classes at Pellissippi, so I didn't have to go and watch myself on our videos we had to do where we showed ourselves. I was like, I'm going to be out. I got this thing.
Literally, in one class, they would film us and then make us watch it in the same class.
That's good.
So that you had to see yourself. It changed. I mean, from the first time we did it, I couldn't stand it. The second time, it wasn't too bad. And after that, you get used to it.
Hearing my own voice bothers me. But
you have a nice, soft-spoken voice. I don't mean if you were narrating a book, if you had some emotion to it, I'd totally listen to it, because you have that nice, well-spokenness to yourself.
Wow.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, he's just so soft-spoken.
You have an easy voice to listen to.
It's it's very gentle. Yeah, definitely.
I had no idea. I feel very good.
There you go. It's true.
Thank you.
I really would like to get started doing recordings of doing podfics and stuff, because I listen to them daily, which is audio podfics. They're audio recordings of fan fiction, and they're all amateur done. It's people who are wanting to get into recording and doing voice acting and stuff will often make them and do them for practice editing and stuff. And I really want to get into doing them, but I don't have a mic or anything.
Well, anytime you want to make a voice acting demo reel, you just text me or Jay and say, hey, when can we meet up, have dinner, and make some audio recordings? Yeah, it's totally fine.
I did an audio class, and the one thing we discovered is that I was doing one of the things we had to do was a McDonald's commercial, and you had to sound like you were supposed to be talking about rivers or lakes or something being wonderful and serene or whatever. And yeah, me and one other guy, we both sounded the best, but we both sounded like porn stars. It was hilarious. It came off as a
recording. I'm so snapping that in
from both. It was just incredibly sensual from both of us, and we were just like, that's not what we were going for. That's not what we were going for
McDonald's.
At all.
I think we should totally do this. We should totally we find an anime, and I'll
oh my goodness, fan dubbing.
I'm gonna bleep myself out, get it off the internet, and we will fan dub it. We'll fan dub a whole episode. We'll have you and Nate and Brian come in, because all three of you talk about doing voice acting. It'd be a super easy way to,
that would be fun.
Recreate something.
I'm all for it.
Right.
Have you seen Yuri on Ice?
I don't think so.
Oh my goodness, it's hilarious. It is total female fan service. It's one of the only ones I've seen where instead of it just being girls with big boobs, it is male figure skaters. It's hilarious.
That's one thing about new anime. Since we're recording this, it's super fine. So new anime bothers me so much because it's very hit or miss. Either it's very fan servicey or it's really good, and it's bad, of course. But there's so much fan service in it. I don't care about some cartoon woman's big breast bouncing around. It's so annoying. I don't want to watch that.
The thing I liked about Yuri on Ice, though, was that, and I haven't watched very much of it, but it actually had good, well-developed characters, a good storyline. The figure skating in it is, speaking of someone who figure skated and has a sister who's much higher ranked and actually competitive, had good animation, good real figure skating. It looked like stuff people could actually and can actually do. But then at the same time, it just had this randomly slipped in, just kind of fan servicey moments. So I'm just like, what?
That's epic.
That? That's fabulous. And so it was good fan service, and I think that's because it was done for girls. Girls aren't gonna watch it if it's just fan service. You have to have some plot in there, or we get uninterested really quickly.
Oh yeah. Well, I think anime. I remember I'm about to be 30, and I think when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, in that range, I can't really remember when, Sci-Fi Channel would play anime at 3 in the morning every Saturday night.
Yep.
And that was when I first saw things like Fatal Fury, the motion picture, Galaxy Express 999, Tenchi Muyo, whatever one.
Tenchi Muyo!
I don't remember what it was. He was fighting some guy on the moon or something. It was,
what?
Yeah, it was weird. I've never seen it again. It was a movie. It wasn't none of the series. It was just some weird clip of him fighting some guy, and some big guy in like black armor.
I have no idea, and I watched like all but like portions of the last season. Tenchimuya. So much love for that series.
Let's see. And that was when I fell in love. I thought that was like, I had always loved film as a kid, like movies and stuff. So when I was seeing these cartoons that were like, man, this isn't like, because I love Tom and Jerry, don't get me wrong, but like I'm watching this, and the first time I'm seeing it, I'm like, this is not Tom and Jerry. Like, holy crap, this is really good, you know? And that was when I started falling in love with it. And I'd already been watching Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network or Toonami at the time. Yeah. And I started seeing other anime, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really good. And then I found Sailor Moon, and I fell in love with Sailor Moon. Love Sailor Moon. I'm not ashamed of it at all.
Good, you shouldn't be. That's a good show.
I have an import DVD of all 200 episodes and all the movies over there that I bought from Japan for like $10.
Okay, is it like the actual Sailor Moon before America was like, we need to censor some things?
Oh yeah, no, it's Sailor Moon.
Oh good.
Oh yeah, she's totally naked fighting the lady at the very end of the series.
I forgot that.
And I'm like, the first time I seen it, I was like, "Where's her clothes?"
I was more thinking the cousins in the American version.
Oh no, they're definitely lesbians.
Absolute lesbian lovers.
Yes.
I didn't watch much of it.
Yeah, it's great.
I've only watched Sailor Moon when I was watching Dragon Ball. Like it was on before Dragon Ball, I think. So I would get home too early from school. And like, oh, now I gotta watch Sailor Moon until Dragon Ball Z comes on.
See, I was homeschooled, and so I could watch even earlier than that. So I watched Thundercats, which I think came on before Sailor Moon.
Love some Thundercats.
So since I was homeschooled, I made sure to get all of my work done by like a little bit early, so that I could watch Thundercats, because that was my first yes.
Dragon Ball Z was definitely my first
animation.
Like, oh my gosh, hurrah!
Though I don't think Thundercats is anime, actually. I think it's American.
I think
it is Western. It's Western.
Yeah, it's very Western.
It's Western.
They released a new version. I don't know how far it went. My kids actually have it. It's Thundercats Season 1, Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3. And I just found Book 3 on the internet. I had to download it or buy it off the internet from Amazon. And they love it. Like, Dad, is there more? And I'm like, I don't think so, actually. I think that's all there is. I don't know. I'll have to look. And
you should get them the old one.
I would, you know what? If they weren't so expensive, I probably would, to buy the whole collection. Because my kids are watching, right now they're watching my Dragon Ball Z collection.
Yeah.
And I have every single episode.
Did you start them on Dragon Ball or just straight into Dragon Ball Z?
Straight into Dragon Ball Z, just like I did.
I agree.
Yeah. No, yeah. Going from Dragon Ball up is very tough.
Mm-hmm.
But Dragon Ball is, when I got older, I appreciated Dragon Ball more than Dragon Ball Z. I like the no one's uber powerful. We're not crushing planets. We're not jumping galaxies. You know, like we're just a kid getting stuck in the dumbest situation, like turns into a giant ape. You know, like it's just random fun. It's really a lot of fun. The older I got, I enjoyed it more.
There is a lot to enjoy out of Dragon Ball. I didn't watch as much of Dragon Ball, but I saw a lot of Dragon Ball Z, except for somewhere during the Buu saga. I was over it. I hated Majin Buu so much.
Yeah, I didn't get to after Fat Buu. Like I kind of stopped watching it.
Yeah, it was very dull.
Like recently, I started watching clips on YouTube about like their fights and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." But
I managed to look into a little bit of the after Fat Buu, because there was some interesting stuff with the fusion fights after Fat Buu.
Yeah,
but I couldn't take it.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Now I would give Kai a chance if I still cared enough to.
Is that the purple kid?
No.
It's the new edited. They cut out all the filler for Dragon Ball Z.
Before they released Dragon Ball Super.
And they condensed episodes. So when somebody's powering up for 10 episodes, now it's like one episode.
Okay, that's right.
So, you know, when Frieza's like, the planet's got 5 minutes.
It actually is.
It was much quicker than 17 episodes. You know, so yes.
It was ridiculous.
And the thing with Kai that bothered me so much, and it's just me because it's one of my things, the animation where they added stuff, it was slightly different looking. So it was very bothersome to my eye. Some people don't even notice it. They just watch it and they're good. It bugs me a lot. But they also improved the relationship between Goku and Gohan, which I think was very needed.
Okay, yeah, I agree. That was needed.
Because he was like so in love with his dad, you know, but he's like never there, you know.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he hardly knew him even.
Exactly, and they fixed that a lot in Dragon Ball.
You know what my favorite relationship in all of Dragon Ball Z was? Vegeta and Bulma.
Oh, me too. they're so drastically different that they're so much fun to watch.
And you really at key points you really could see the genuine love was there.
Yeah.
They really did love each other.
Did you see Battle of the Gods, the movie.
No.
Oh man,
I've never seen any
We
Dragon
should
Ball
watch
Z
that
movies.
clip because
We should.
it's so freaking awesome.
I'll show it to you before you leave.
Okay.
No, not during the recording here, but seriously,
This
like
recording got so off.
that's fine.
I
We'll
don't.
pick it
This
up.
is great.
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't. I listen to this.
So do you know who Beerus is by chance?
Oh.
He's the big Egyptian cat-looking guy.
No, I don't.
Okay, so you've missed a whole bunch of things that have
Well,
gone on.
yeah, now we're in Dragon Ball Super.
Okay,
Even
I
though
know
this,
nothing of Dragon Ball Super. I caught some of Dragon Ball GT.
It's okay.
oh, that's trash. They got rid of it. Anyways.
It's not canon.
Good.
Yeah,
No one-
GT's
Good.
no longer canon. Thank God.
Good.
Yeah. No, so Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods
Does
was
that
the
mean
last
Super
movie
Saiyan
before
4
doesn't
doesn't
exist.
happen?
Right.
Yes.
We got Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan
I
God,
remember that. I've seen
some other stuff.
Super Saiyan Blue's past Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, Super
So
Saiyan
I
God.
don't know how that
Super Saiyan
works.
Blue. Yeah, me neither.
He goes Super Saiyan God in the movie, and then you never see that again.
Yeah.
Now he's just blue.
And then they're talking about there's a new form of him maybe
I
that's
don't
been
know.
leaked. Yeah,
It's probably they're gonna have the ultimate tournament in like the next episode.
oh,
so it's-
finally? Only
yeah.
took us 20 years to get there?
Well, it's 48 hours,
Oh, yeah, 48 hours.
but literally 3 episodes got by, and it's only been 3 hours. And it's like, could you at least space out these episodes? Like, say, okay, we're gonna make this many episodes to the final fight,
yeah.
and then break up the time.
They're giving too much filler. Now, I'm not
it's
going to share
finally-
too much because if you ever decide to watch Super, it is really decent.
Hmm.
But Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods was the beginning. When it did so well, the success of that film alone gave us Super.
Okay.
Well, Beerus, like I think he like smacks Bulma or does something or yells at her.
Oh yeah, it says at Bulma's birthday party,
Okay.
and Beerus is there, and Vegeta's trying to keep him calm because if he gets mad, he destroys the planet.
If he sneezes, he destroys the planet. That's how powerful this guy is.
Yeah,
Good heavens.
because no one in the universe can really beat him. For
And his
whatever,
handler, this guy named Wiz or Whis, like, they make the comment like he's even more powerful than Beerus, and I'm like my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my goodness.
yeah, he's
'Cause
the only one
can
who
like
can stop him.
he can like rearrange time and stuff. It's unreal. There's so much you're missing. It's really good. It really is. But you see Vegeta like lose his temper because he insults Bulma or whatever he does to her. Like I mean, it was good. It was really
Oh,
great.
it's so awesome.
Now the other time that Vegeta really made me happy, and when it comes to anime, would definitely be, you may not have seen it because you gave up in the Boo series. He killed himself.
In the Boo series?
Mm-hmm.
I think I did see that one.
Vegeta
episode.
legitimately self-destructed, and like he grabs Trunks and he gives him a hug. And it's like the
Oh,
most,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it was like
Oh
it
wait, I
warmed
don't
my
think I've
heart.
seen that.
He hugs him and he's like, I've never been like a great father or something like that. He's like, he gives this really awesome speech, and then he just like knocks him out, and then he just blows
kill
himself
Boo.
up to kill Boo to save the planet and save his son. It's super incredible. It's like the best part of Vegeta you've ever seen.
Okay, I gotta go look that up.
It's
I'm gonna
amazing.
cry, but I gotta look that up.
It was so good. Vegeta's deaths were always really well
yeah.
done in my opinion. Even when he died against Frieza, and you know
Oh,
he's like
my
he's like
goodness.
scratching the dirt, trying to tell Goku, he's like, just listen to me, let me get this out before I die. And you're just like, oh my god, dude, please just stop talking. Like you're gonna make it. Just be quiet. Please stop.
I'm the prince of all Saiyans.
Yeah, exactly. And it was so
I
good.
do that in the. I don't know if you don't want to see abridged stuff. but
I don't. I watch it here and there.
They make pretty big fun of that. That Vegeta's always like, I am the prince of all Saiyans. Like he has the same speech like several times in
No.
Soul fighting Frieza.
This
It's pretty
is
funny.
this is why I can't watch the abridged because
It's pretty funny.
there's
some of I've seen clips and some of them
some
are
of
great.
it, yeah.
But and in my opinion, they're not giving it enough justice to be fun for me because
Yeah,
I
they
was
take
such
it
a
over the
diehard
top.
fan.
They take it over the top a few times. And
Mhm.
They really poke fun, but they do
Yeah.
follow the storyline pretty well.
Oh yeah,
I haven't watched recently. I just watched up to a certain point, and I was like, oh, whatever. I don't care.
yeah, it was good. Like I mean, like like I said, when Vegeta died, anytime he died, like it was just in the series, like it made you care about him, like as the anti-hero. And
Yeah,
that was as a kid, like you don't get these things like anti-hero or the rogue hero. Like you're just like, this guy's a jerk, but oh my gosh, look what a nice thing he did. And now you're like, he's the anti-hero, and he's like amazing at what he does.
Oh yeah.
He becomes willing to give himself up for his family and for the planet. You're like, what is this? Like, this is amazing.
What a character arc though,
Mhm.
from the first time he ended up on Earth to, everything that happened with Frieza. There was a little bit of change, and especially a lot during that last battle with Frieza, but all the way to the Boo series where he's sacrificing himself. Like, the character arc that happened in there is just incredible.
Oh, he's got a better story than Goku does.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Goku is always the same.
Yeah, he is the same. He's always like, I'm gonna fight the toughest guy I can find.
He's consistent.
But I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill him.
I'm not
I just
gonna kill
wanna
him because I want
Yeah.
to fight. I want to fight him at his strongest.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Because
leave
You
him
come
alive.
back when you recharge up. We'll do it again. Like, get out of here. This guy just massacred millions of people on the planet.
Yeah,
seriously.
He like almost loses too. He's like, ugh. You know, he almost dooms everyone.
So I think to give you a bit on Super is like, they made a comment, I believe, and I could be way wrong, and anyone who listens to this might be like, you're a total dipshit, but I think they said something, if Vegeta and Goku could work together well enough, they could actually beat Beerus.
Mm-hmm. Whis says that in one of the episodes.
Whis, it was Whis.
The problem is they're always trying to outdo each other, so they can't work together and fight the same person at the same time because they're trying to get that one. They're trying to get the punch in and like overdo each other. So it's like, but if they work together in unison, they could beat Beerus. Like that's the whole idea. And
you see it. They actually imply it more and more because now that like, like the world is like saved or whatever. Like there's nothing to do other than like have the universes, like the 17 universes fight each other in this big massive tournament or whatever. Like they're training with Beerus, you know, and like they emphasize that challenge between the two of them at all times, trying to outdo each other. And so you'll see, like, Goku will be like, hey, Vegeta, look. And he'll point away. And Vegeta will look away. And then Goku just speeds right past him. And he goes and he's like, now, Kakarot, that wasn't right.
Oh, good heavens.
It's just funny.
It's fun. There's a lot of funness to it.
It is.
They're kind of dragging their feet. They're doing interesting things. I'm interested to see where it goes. I just hope Super doesn't end up being some long, drawn-out, like...
Yeah, it was really good up until the tournament. Like, the... universe tournament thing, and that's when the real terrible filler just started dragging out. I was like, man, because they were trying to gather all the warriors to fight for him, and they had these side stories. I'm just like, okay.
Like the female Broly, saying the other Saiyans.
That was actually really cool.
There's other Saiyans from another universe, and they're like, your build, Rayn, like all of them. Yeah. Like literally, and then they're like incredibly powerful for who they are. It's really impressive.
And none of them heard of Super Saiyan until they fought Vegeta. In the tournament, and then Vegeta actually taught the other guy how to become a Super Saiyan, like during the tournament, and it was pretty awesome.
And it's good, and like
it was kind of frustrating because they were equally matched at that point. Though he goes Super Saiyan, and suddenly they're equals, and then he had to go Super Saiyan Blue to beat him, which was ridiculous.
That is a little ridiculous.
I was just like, the whole power level thing is kind of out of whack. It's kind of very arbitrary. Which I guess it always has been kind of, but it's like...
I think so. They've taken it to a new level. I think it's kind of broken. Like, we lost power levels
altogether
right before the androids, I believe, showed up, and that was it. Like, we never heard of it again, you know? So it's definitely
I'll just say, this guy's really strong.
Yeah.
That's all I say.
Yeah. But then you're like, then you got, in the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z, Raditz shows up, and he's like, we destroy planets. You know, I'm like, they were that strong then. Mm-hmm. How are you dictating, like, when Cell does his Kamehameha against Gohan, how are they not blowing up the Earth?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
But then we get into we're being too technical now about, and it's cartoon.
You know,
it's like this guy in high school. I'll never forget it. He was like, you know what bothers me the most about the Broly movie? I was like, what's that, man? He says, Goku stands right in front of him at point blank range, hits him with a Kamehameha. He walks right through it, and that's fine. But his pants aren't even torn. He's like, do his pants have their own power level? I'm like, oh, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. It's really interesting.
He probably had emitted the power. You know, he's like, the yellow.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so the power, literally his power level radiating around him protected his clothing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could do that.
That'd be awesome.
My clothes would never be dirty.
That would be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting into stuff like, though, how do Hulk's pants survive?
He's got stretchy pants.
Yeah.
No, like in Avengers, pre-stretchy pants. Like the first Avengers movie.
Yes. He should have been naked.
He was naked. On the...
No, not during the final battle. During the final battle against the Chitauri, his pants survived all the way through.
When he went Hulk on the ship, and he was in the thing, and he fell, and that security guy found him, he was naked.
Those pants are shredded.
Yeah, but
that was from the plane exploding.
Back to anime, though. Okay, if you had to pick an all-time favorite anime.
I've only seen 2.
What?
Really? What?
Naruto and Dragon Ball Z.
At least you picked iconic ones.
You're so American.
You are very American.
Nothing wrong with it.
I don't watch. I'm watching Naruto again right now.
I never got into Naruto. I just never enjoyed it.
I did, and I really liked the first Naruto series. But the problem is it does have one of the last I checked, it has the longest filler line in existence.
It's pretty terrible.
200 plus episodes or something.
Yeah.
But the thing is you can now that Shippuden's out, you can basically watch the plot. You can watch the plot of Naruto, and then skip straight to Shippuden, which is what the manga does, and you're good. Mm-hmm. Literally, you don't need any of that other crap.
And you can find what episodes are filler, and you can I haven't really tried it, but you could probably skip those, and you're just like, I'm not
There's
gonna
probably
watch
thing. I
these.
mean, that's a Dragon Ball Z. You could probably just skip.
No,
certain
it was
things.
literally 200 in
Yeah.
a row.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It is 200 in a row.
That's probably what I remember. I was watching Naruto in high school. I was like, I'm gonna watch all Naruto, and then
No.
I got to a certain point, and then I just kind of stopped watching it. And then like years later, I was like, I never finished Naruto, so I started over. I got to the same point, and I was like,
After Orochimaru,
I remember this. I remember why
everything after Orochimaru takes Sasuke. Spoilers, but everyone should know this by now. Everything after Sasuke runs off with Orochimaru is filler.
Really?
I've never seen this. You ruined it for me. I'm never gonna watch.
That makes so much sense now because they go like, I can't really remember, but
Because Naruto is we must save Sasuke, and then you never see him do anything about saving Sasuke?
yeah, from then on, it's always like they talk about it, I guess, right? And then
Sometimes.
oh my
I didn't watch
gosh.
any of it, but that's why you can skip straight to Shippuden, and you're good. And Shippuden,
That makes so much sense because it really legitimately continues that last thought of that.
That's really weird.
yeah, it
pretty
is.
awesome,
Shippuden is actually pretty good, and I followed Naruto more through the manga than I did through the anime because I just didn't want to deal with the filler stupidity.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff. And I felt that I didn't want to deal with reading subtitles, and I felt that the dub did not do Naruto justice at all.
Believe it.
Oh, don't even. Don't
Wait,
even,
what?
sir.
What I miss?
Huh?
What did I just miss here?
Oh, okay, so Naruto has this suffix or something that he puts on the end of a lot
In
of
the
his
Japanese,
words.
is in
In Japanese, yeah. Like where he says or something, and it's basically just an excitement kind of thing.
Oh,
to add
yeah,
on
yeah,
to.
okay, yeah.
And in the American, it got translated to "believe it."
He's like, I'm gonna become Hokage one day. Believe it.
Oh god.
And it's really kind of cringy.
Oh, it's so bad. It's
like,
so bad.
But some of those fight
Sounds
scenes
bad.
are pretty epic.
Oh,
I like watching
that is
I like
true.
watching the Broccoli and Gara fight.
Oh,
That's
oh,
pretty
Yeah,
that
epic.
named
is-
Broccoli.
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 Oh,
Broccoli?
broccoli.
Broccoli.
Okay.
Broccoli. His
Oh,
name
broccoli.
is Broccoli. There's no
Broccoli.
B in there.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all
we're-
good.
You can tell how much I really care. About it.
The Broccoli Gara fight is freaking epic.
That is
Okay,
awesome. We
That
should watch
moment
that.
when he's up on the statue and he takes the weights off his legs.
It's like the Piccolo
Oh.
thing where he takes his thing off, but it's like he causes craters when he drops his things.
It's one
and
of
then
those
he's
where
like
he's-
so fast.
He's already fast and he's already doing decent and he's fighting someone who you don't realize at that point but does actually have a demon in them as well, who they use the power from more readily. So he's already fighting a pretty broken, like the most broken fighter in this tournament. And he doesn't have anything special about him he doesn't have any special blood type help or anything like
He can
most
only
of them
do physical combat.
Yeah, he's
He
just
can't-
physical. Where lots of them have special jujutsu, blood type, whatever stuff that helps them. This kid is just straight physical, and he's fighting one of the most broken. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, you're actually a strong opponent." And he takes these weights off his legs. He's up on this statue. He's only barely losing, and he drops them, and craters form on either side of him. And literally, the entire arena goes, "Do what?" And he's invisible when he starts running.
Wow.
The guy he's fighting has this sand that when you do an attack, it blocks it automatically. Like he doesn't control it; it just does it. So it's like
That's the demon
self-protection.
thing.
So he can't. So Lee's having a hard time.
Landing any hits.
He punch and he's like trying to trick it, and he's not fast enough. But then he drops his things, and now he's like 4 times faster, and he's like able to actually. He's like the first person ever to actually land a punch
Yeah.
on the guy.
Oh my goodness.
So he's like, and then the guy goes crazy because he's kind of.
he loses
He
it.
doesn't sleep. He can't sleep because if he does sleep, then the demon inside takes control and then destroys the city.
And the reason
So it's
not
like-
sleeping doesn't kill him is because of the demon's power. It literally keeps him alive, but he never can sleep. So he's kind of insane
Yeah,
for
That
having
makes sense.
never
Oh,
slept
yeah.
in his life.
yeah.
Because
So it's-
to have a demon put in you, it's putting you when you're a baby. So
Right.
he literally has never slept to his knowledge.
That's
and,
insane.
Yeah, so he's a little crazy, and he's a great character. He's probably one of my favorites.
he's good now. Like he's not evil or anything.
Yeah, he ends up
he's
being
like
good friends.
really good friends with Naruto now.
Actually, the first arc in Shippuden, you end up
Yeah.
in their village, and you get to see more of him.
Because they
which
take
is
the
awesome.
demon out of him, and he
Oh
almost
yeah,
dies.
that's right. I read those books.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
I watched the cartoon because I like animation.
Hey, so what's one of your favorite? If you had to pick a favorite anime, what would it be?
Oh, good lord. Well, first off, I haven't watched much anime since like 2008, probably.
What year is this? No, I'm just kidding.
So, pre-putting it out there, all of my stuff is gonna be like dated. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so the one this would probably not have been the one I would say my favorite was back in the day when I was really into anime. But the only one that still draws me in, I don't watch much anime now, hardly any, but there is one anime that I've always said I didn't finish and that can still consistently draws me in, and I still have it on my phone and I'm reading it, and that is One Piece.
Isn't that show like, or that manga, like, it's one of the two, it's like insanely long. It's like, or it may not be One Piece. Sometimes like 900 something episodes and it's still going strong.
No, that is not One Piece.
That's my cousin watches it.
It's not Bleach, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It's Bleach.
I thought there was something else that was like just incredibly long. I thought it was One Piece.
I think
One Piece is incredibly long.
The pirate ship kid.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It is incredibly long, but it's not dragging itself. Like Bleach just was dragging. Bleach is over now. But Bleach was dragging itself. Literally, they would have like a contest in the main anime magazine in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like a character poll, and whoever won would be the next character you saw most often.
Wow.
And like they were literally, it was fan based and dragging itself on. And that's how it lived so long, was that it pandered to the fans so well.
Well, that's fair, I guess.
But One Piece really does have a set ending, and I know the very first main character, or as far as I know, the very first character to actually die. Not in a flashback, including villains, heroes, everyone. The very first character to straight up die was at what is the absolute dead center of the series, according to the creator. And so I have seen that point, and it's actually right around that point that I lost track of it for a little while and didn't read it again for years. But it is the only one that consistently draws me back in. And I mean, back in the day, I would have said my favorite would be the original Full Metal Alchemist run, not Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, what's it called? Blood. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna kill myself. I can't remember.
I have no idea.
All right, so there was basically Full Metal Alchemist was a phenomenon when it hit. It was huge, but the original anime did not follow the manga. It followed it up to a point very early.
Oh, then they released that Brotherhood series.
Brotherhood, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched Brotherhood, but I did read some of the anime, or some of the manga, so I know kind of where it veers.
Right.
And I know that they go vastly different directions, especially with the homunculus and like how that all works and stuff, and like their dad and all that. Like, it's vastly different from what you got in the original anime.
You know what I don't understand is, like, you have such a fan base anyways, so why do creators veer from the manga? I mean, I get giving new perspectives.
I actually haven't answered this.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
Okay. Do you know why filler lines exist in anime but not in manga?
To help keep up with because the manga's ahead of the...
They're trying to continue giving they start the animes before the manga is
complete,
done.
Yes.
And they're trying to give the fans something to keep them there. Fullmetal Alchemist didn't want to do that. And so instead of having a filler line, they literally just changed the whole story and kept going.
I think that happened with Helsing,
cool,
I believe, or something. Helsing.
Van Helsing.
Yeah.
It's like a parallel universe.
Basically, that's what they ended up creating.
Which I don't mind too much, but
it's
when it's dull. Like Dragon Ball Z, back to Dragon Ball Z, of course, because I know the whole series.
Yeah.
When they brought Garlic Jr. back, right after they killed Frieza, right before Trunks showed up, they fought Garlic Jr. again. Who cares? I mean, the guy was in Dead Zone, the movie, and that was it. Like, there were just like little blips of just useless things, like the World Tournament, the Great Saiyaman thing, and Dragon Ball Z. Oh my goodness,
he's back.
No.
Kind of.
In Super? Are you serious?
He's back a little bit.
Really?
He's a movie star now.
Oh, I think I heard that.
Yeah, he's only in like 1 or 2 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
He has Gohan as a daughter now, Pan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's in GT, but
she is.
He puts the suit on to play with her sometimes.
No.
And she can fly. She's like a little taller and she flies her.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Have they now when GT back on Dragon Ball Z, of course, but because you've watched more of Super than I have, did they mention, like, because Goten didn't want to fight, he was like too busy being on his cell phone at the beginning of GT. Remember that? How's Goten involved?
Goten's still a little kid.
In Super?
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be a little bit older with, Pan being born.
No, he's like, I don't know how old he is. He's really young. He's probably as young as he was when he was training with Goku, or Gohan.
What?
Remember when he threw the rocks at Gohan?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, though.
Yeah, but he's still as old.
He should have aged at least a bit.
I don't know what to tell you.
So, yeah,
he looks the
that's my
same.
thing.
He looks the same and sounds the same.
I mean, because he was like 5.
Well, I don't know. I only watched the Japanese.
He was like 5 or 10 at that point.
5 or 10, that's such a big gap.
I mean, he was somewhere in that
yeah,
age.
I think they were
he's probably
8.
not much older.
I think they were in the 8 range.
Yeah, so somewhere between 5 and 10.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
absolutely.
He's still a little kid. I don't know. But
It's crazy.
Who knows?
Okay, so
he's still super powerful.
what else on anime?
So so the animes, the ones that probably got me into true anime though were, and that I will always have so much love for, Tenchi Muya and Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of Rurouni Kenshin.
So good.
Was he the red haired guy with the scar?
Yeah, he
The big,
is.
huge-
I didn't watch him,
sword.
but my friends did.
Okay, but see, the thing with Rurouni Kenshin that they seem to really mess up on is I have a friend who's just Rurouni Kenshin all the way. She's so in love with. And they apparently did not animate the final arc. Like, the arc that ended the series in the manga, they just didn't do it.
Oh, this is so bad.
That's so sad. I haven't even watched it.
Like,
I'm sad.
yeah, I feel so
I
bad
know
for
the
the
feeling.
fans. I'm sorry, fans. I mean, you know,
And it breaks her heart because she's like, if you don't get that last arc, you don't understand. Like, apparently there's this whole big stuff that happens. Because I really lost track of Rurouni Kenshin in, like, the second or third season of it. I have a lot of love for those first seasons. It was really good, but I lost track of it after a little while. I kind of did the same thing with Tenchi Muya, but I kept up with it up until the very last season. Then I missed that one.
I think
I'm a bad fan.
So Dragon Ball Z is obviously my top. Hellsing is one of my top recent ones. Now I think my most I don't know how new it is. I just watched it on Netflix recently. It's called Kill La Kill.
I've heard of it.
24 episodes. That's it. Hands you the story, wraps it up, finishes it, and it was amazing. It was so much fun to watch. It had its fan servicey moments I didn't really like. I was like, come on, move that. But aside from that, the story, I was hooked. I was watching it every night before bed.
Nice.
1 or 2 episodes just every night, and it was so good. And I was so mad when it was over. And of course, you guys probably both know this, but like when you go to buy anime here in America, it's like stupidly priced.
Oh my goodness.
Like I paid over $300 for the Hellsing series on Blu-ray. Look, I mean, it's just obnoxious. Same, it's like an astronomical price for the Kill La Kill series to buy the 24 episodes on Blu-ray. I'm like, seriously, guys, come on, like, what's going on here? I went to a convention, Yamacon, here in Gatlinburg, a couple years ago. And there was a store there. They were selling anime, and I was like, hey, man, I might pick up some stuff. And I start scrolling through. I'm like, I pick up one. I look at it, and I was like, are you kidding me? And the guy was like, what's the matter? I'm like, is this price, like, serious? And it was maybe, like, 15 episodes or something. It's $130. And I was like, I'm not paying that. I will go online, and I will pirate it, and I will gladly wave a flag to Japan and say, sorry, guys, but the American resellers kill me. I will take jail time over, like a $5,000 collection of anime. Like, it's just outrageous. Like, I just can't do that. It's insane.
See, I've kind of drifted from anime into American cartoons really, really badly.
I'll give you some American cartoons that were good.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Like Johnny Quest. I'm showing my age, right? No, seriously, because I like Johnny Quest. I even like new Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest or new Johnny Quest?
I like them both.
I did too.
Most people
The new
don't.
one had the 3D stuff, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed
that.
That
Tron bike thing
I remember
going
the
on.
really weird whale episode.
Yes.
The guy like merged into the back of a whale. I was like, what the
I
heck?
think I remember that.
It's like, what in the world?
Powerpuff Girls. I
that
love
was pretty-
tremendously.
Powerpuff Girls was great.
The new stuff, I've only seen a little bit, and from what
Don't do
I've
it.
seen, I wasn't really happy, so I
It's
didn't try
terrible.
anymore.
It's terrible. It pulled out what I felt were the best and most important aspects of the original series, and it just spit in their face.
But
Dexter's Lab.
Dexter's Lab, I think the same people, wasn't it? Was it the same
Probably.
people? And they did. Didn't they do Samurai Jack? I believe. Maybe.
I don't know.
Now, there's something that made a fabulous comeback.
I didn't like it before, but then again, it was one of my things. I may try it now and like
Okay,
it. But
me and my dad used to watch Samurai Jack all the time, and so I loved it. And I actually haven't got to watch the new season that just came out, but I plan to.
And it's, from when I read it, wraps it up.
It does.
It just finishes the whole, which is great. People waited so long to get an ending,
Years.
and they're delivered. But if I had to pick, like, the one and only Western cartoon that's just the best of the best, no matter what you guys say, I don't care what you feel,
Good Lord.
it's Tom and Jerry.
I gotta say, I have a lot of love for Tom and Jerry from back in the day. Yes. I really do. And I cannot say it's my favorite now, but there was a time when I was a kid that Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes were the stuff for me. I loved
Looney Tunes was always, it was hit or miss for me. Like, there were some things I really liked. Now that I've gotten older, I've enjoyed, like, the older Looney Tunes, like where you had Daffy Duck, insulting Hitler and things like those, like the fun stuff. That as a kid, you're like, why does the guy have a weird mustache? And like, the older you are now, it's like, oh man, this was like our propaganda. Like, it's really weird to think of it like that, but it was a lot of fun to watch.
Bugs Bunny is who I fell in love with, and I watched Looney Tunes for Bugs Bunny. when I was a
I think
kid.
I got more than him when they did the old gangster cartoons when he would trick the gangster guys on the phone in the phone booth and like take their money, and then when he would play the piano and do like the epic orchestra things. I like that stuff, but
Kill the Wabbit.
yeah.
Kill the wabbit.
But yeah,
That's
I think
different.
Tom and Jerry is probably still
was
my
good
most
stuff.
favorite American. What's yours, Jay? What do you got? If you had to pick a childhood all-American cartoon, what would it
See,
be?
I'm not even thinking childhood American cartoons. I'm thinking like me now enjoying
But
kids
you're like
cartoons.
you're like 17.
I don't know. Probably.
I'm 27.
It's the same
unfortunately.
difference. It's the same difference. You're the youngest looking person in the room right now.
You're barely older than me, sir.
I don't know. That's hard. I think Tom and Jerry is the one I watched the most.
Okay,
I didn't watch Nickelodeon.
I gotta retract. Wow, really?
Not
So you
very
didn't
much.
like Rocko's Modern Life?
Oh,
you know?
no,
Okay,
wait.
that show
I
should
forgot
not
that
have been a
existed.
kids show.
No,
I forgot that existed.
Yeah, like Ren and Stimpy.
I didn't watch
That
Ren
was
and
a
Stimpy.
terrible show.
I didn't watch that.
I forgot an all-time a favorite American. I'm gonna steal the mic from you again.
It's okay.
Batman.
90s
yeah,
Batman.
90s
I was gonna
Batman.
bring it up. I was.
Mark
Forgot
Hamill
again.
as the I didn't even know it was Mark Hamill as a kid. I was like, that's
Right.
Luke Skywalker when I got older. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. But no, seriously, like that was like the end all be all superhero cartoons. Like
Glorious.
it's been almost impossible for me to be won over by like superhero cartoon shows because I want something as good as that was.
The way Batman was portrayed in that series, where he genuinely had compassion for his villains because they are all mental patients, but at the same time, he was genuinely fighting them and taking them down because what they were doing was wrong, was such an amazing balance and legitimately affected the way that I see the world now and how I handle people who do wrong by me or who are doing me things, where I
absolutely. I mean,
really
yeah.
do try to look at it from their perspective, and I credit a lot of the way I think about things like that and look at it because of the 90s Batman cartoon that I watched. And that was something that me and my dad connected over hardcore. Was when I was little, on Mondays when it would come on, I could go find my dad who only had Mondays off, and I'm like, Dad, Batman is on, and he would stop whatever he was doing and come watch Batman with me.
That's awesome.
And I knew that he would do that, and so that was that time for me and my dad to really connect over something that he loved growing up, which was superheroes that I was getting into as a little kid.
Now, let me ask you: have you guys seen any? Jay, I'm going to come back to you. I want to know your favorite cartoon as a kid.
don't
But have
know.
you seen like the newer Justice League movies, like the animated ones that are coming out? Not the new live action. I hate to say it, it looks like crap.
Other than Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. She was incredible. But like the Flash, I got a problem with. Looks pretty good. Aquaman, Cyborg is where it kills me.
The opposite on that. I think Aquaman looks really good because they're going with the new design of Aquaman that came out after the Young Justice series, where they redesigned the Aqua family, and I like that they're going more with that direction with the Aqua family. I think it works way better than the old school. Speaking as someone who's read the DC Encyclopedia article on the old school Aquamans, he sucks, and there was nothing redeeming about him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But when I see Cyborg, and this is us as film nerds, especially, when I see Cyborg covered in his cyborg parts in the trailers and the clips, I hate it. It looks so cheaply done. Like, it doesn't look as good as I feel like it should.
It's really reflective.
Right, yeah.
It's too reflective.
It looks almost fake. Like, they didn't let
Yeah.
it render long enough inside of a Premiere or Avid or whatever they, made it with. But he looks too cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
don't,
looking him up.
I
Right
don't
now
like
because
it.
I don't feel like I've seen it well enough to have an opinion.
Like it rattles me so much.
Yeah.
And with the crap that we got from Batman versus Superman, like I just
Okay,
I have
that's
a hard
because
time.
that movie was done wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't care what you say. That wasn't Doomsday. Screw all of you who think it was. Because seriously,
I don't think Doomsday. I think they should have, and I think the whole thing should have literally been Batman versus Superman.
Yes.
And the ending was Batman just killed Superman. What the heck?
Or
Because that's
beat
what
him.
happens. No, he killed him.
yeah, you're
He
right.
needs to kill him.
You're right.
And then and that's
that would be a little ridiculous.
I don't-
But
no, it
I'm-
happens in the
I'm
comics.
listening.
He kills Superman in
Yeah.
the comics.
Okay, when they're old and they've both been established heroes for years.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not that familiar.
Well, it
but
all depends on which comic book variation you're reading. So
Okay, that's
I don't know either. But it's
Oh wait, the one I'm thinking of, actually Superman ends up thinking he killed Batman. He totally didn't. He ends up going underground, creating a revolution. But that's a totally different universe.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like some story somewhere where Batman
He
actually.
he looks like he's been tunified, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Two
Yes,
World
thank
tunified.
you.
This cyborg is awful. I just looked up my phone. The cyborg is awful.
It's a kid's. It's like a kid's
And it
show.
looks so bad.
It doesn't even look like the robotic parts are actually part of his body.
What
like
they
where it
should've-
comes on his face, it doesn't actually look like they're part of him.
They need to dull the shininess for
That's
one.
for sure. Especially considering that they went with a universe where the robotic parts on him. And look at that, his skin. He doesn't even have a body on the legs there, and at least one of his legs should still exist. I've seen what it looks like when he got blown apart. Considering that this version of Cyborg was created from the technology that from like Darkseid's universe, it came from a not boom tubes, from a mother box. I know that's where they got the technology for this because you see that in the little clips you see of him in Batman vs Superman. He's definitely a mother box version of Cyborg. This technology should be perfectly integrated into his skin, considering how it was put there, and it doesn't even look like it's a part of him. It looks like it's sitting on him.
Yeah, it's bad. Now, here's what I think they should have done. And who am I? I'm just a guy with an opinion. But they shouldn't have done Cyborg. And I think they did because of his popularity with Teen Titans, and that's fine. They should have reintroduced Green Lantern.
Yeah.
They should have given us John Green Lantern.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
They got the same guy.
You could have used the exact same actor.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
play
he
John.
would be so good.
I like the Green Lantern. He's such a cool character.
Yeah, and he's
I love his
underrated.
ring. I've always wanted
underappreciated.
that ring.
Oh yeah,
So I
even
can
as a
just
kid.
make
yeah.
stuff in my mind.
Well, think about it though. Like when we had.
What is John's last name? It suddenly flipped my brain. It's
Oh,
John.
goodness.
Crazy.
I don't know.
Because it's Hal Gordon and it's John.
Well, it's Hal
Stewart.
Jordan. I think it's
Yeah.
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan?
Hal
I think
Jordan.
it's Hal
Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
Hal Jordan. You're right. It's Jordan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank
Commissioner
you.
Gordon. No.
Commissioner Gordon. Oh my goodness, I'm getting my superheroes mixed up. I feel like such a failure.
No,
It's
yeah,
alright.
I love
No,
Green
I know
Lantern
my
as a
stuff. I should
kid.
have stop.
he was always like a favorite hero in the DC side. Now, of course, everyone's got DC and Marvel sides, but it's definitely gonna be Green Lantern and Batman. They should reintroduce him because I mean, even Ryan Reynolds hated.
Oh yeah.
You know, he wasn't
yeah.
a big fan of that monstrosity of a performance we got.
That was terrible.
I wonder if they could have done that though, like studios and like who owns the rights to.
Oh yeah, I
different
forgot
ones.
about that
Oh.
stupid. That whole,
I didn't know that DC had given up some of their characters as well.
see, the
I
problem
don't know.
is though.
I don't know either. I just wonder.
The biggest problem though is like it's the money hungry people who like I'm not giving up the contract because we should keep it as our studio,
We could do something with it.
We're gonna make the good movie.
and they don't,
And they don't, yeah.
They fail. You know,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
So let's work
I'm
together.
so glad that Spider-Man did manage to get back to the Marvel family, though, because seriously, he is, especially once you get into Civil War and you get into Galaxy Wars and stuff, Spider-Man is the linchpin of this whole Marvel war that we're getting into now. In the original comic books, Spider-Man is a complete linchpin in those things. And I don't know as much about Marvel comics as I do about DC comics, but I know enough and I've read enough to see that. And I know they're changing a ton of things, and especially with the new Civil War comic books that are out right now, which are so different, so strange. Why, Bruce Banner? Why so early?
Like I don't know what was didn't like, wasn't the Punisher was always in the Civil Wars as I remember,
Yes.
and they're not bringing him back. And like now we're getting on the topic of film, which is totally fine. I'm super happy about that. But like Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher in the '80s was so bad. Like the Punisher was an American guy, you know. Like and I have no problem with people being foreign, but like. You need to be true that hero, like and it was good for its time. It was fun. I enjoyed it. You know, when I was younger, I shouldn't have watched it when I was younger, but
I
whatever.
don't think I ever even saw it.
I've never heard of it, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man, I have it. You want to just kind of melt your eyes a little bit. I loved, and some people who, if only the two people that listen to this disagree, that's fine. But like, I loved Thomas Jane as the Punisher against John Travolta when they redid it, and like I really had so much love for Thomas Jane. I just felt like he did it right. Like he played that like.
You got any idea what he's talking about?
Gruntly.
Is this the movie?
Yeah, when they
Okay.
redid the Punisher back in like
There was a
2004.
Punisher movie?
It was
It was
pretty good.
amazing. Yeah,
I
in
know
my
the-
opinion, it was amazing.
The only Punisher I know is the one from the new Daredevil series.
Which
is
by the
also
way,
really
John
He's
Bernthal
scary. in the
did absolutely incredible with that role. Like I was,
Yeah.
I saw him in an interview on YouTube. I sit around and watch Jimmy Fallon clips because I like his game shows randomly. But John Bernthal is such like a nice guy. Like he's just such a nice, happy person. And I hated him in Walking Dead. And I think you're supposed to hate his character, but I hated like that whole existence. Like even him as a person, I was like, I just wish you would go away. Like I don't like you in Walking Dead. I don't like your character. I don't like anything about you. And it wasn't like the kind of dislike your character that you're supposed to have. I just didn't like him being there. But I saw him in things like in Fury. I don't know if you guys seen that, but he was amazing in that, where it was about the World War II tanks. Brad Pitt. It was great. It was a super amazing film. One of the best war films I've seen in recent time.
I feel like I need to watch that.
It's so good. Shia LaBeouf's in it. I mean, it's really, really good.
I'll put that on my list.
He was in a movie. He was in Grudge Match. Well, Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro box each other as old men. It was super fun, but he plays the son of Robert De Niro, and it's fun. It's really good, And I was like, man, John Bernthal's, he's doing it, and then he comes out as the Punisher, and I'm worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, because it wasn't even him that I was worried about. I was worried about the character, because the character needs justice. Thomas Jane gave that character justice, in my opinion, in 2004.
It's a very complicated character. And, to understand his morality and what he's seen,
absolutely, yeah.
That part of the character, it's a very complicated, because he is very much an anti-hero.
Yeah, but he's the kind of anti-hero that, if he was my neighbor and he, needed, a wrench, I would be like, you can have it.
Yeah.
Because of the things you do. I don't, here, take it. And, because that's like Batman. I love that he's just a man who decided that he's going to do something different. And the Punisher is just a man who decided to do something different. So, when you take that aspect of, did you watch Daredevil season 2, right?
Yeah.
So you've seen...
With him, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, perfect example. This is something that, I probably would have done. And even in my out-of-shape, era, I would probably still do it. But when that guy says, hey, man, I got this DVD or whatever, she's barely 12, are you interested? And he just locks the door. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, I'm speaking your language, ain't I? And he just walks up and grabs a bat, and I'm just like, wear him out, every bit of him.
I remember that. He's buying guns from him, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he buys, the police radio thing, all all the other stuff, at the pawn shop. And the guy, I'm just like, get him. And that's all I'm feeling. I'm feeling it in my gut. I'm just destroy that guy.
Yeah.
I was honestly right there as well.
And I love that about the Punisher, because it's the one character that we really touch into that, realism of the world. Mm-hmm. As a comic book hero, and then he's in this world with Spider-Man and Iron Man, these billionaires who got money and iron suits and crazy monsters, but he's so good he can be in that realm.
Yeah.
I think when Drew was over, he gave me a quote that in one of the Punisher comics. I love it to this day. The Punisher kicks in a door or something, and I want to find this comic book just so I can have it. And he kicks in the door, and he's all like, they say you can't take the things that mean the most to you to heaven when you die. What am I going to do with all these bullets? He just massacres the room. I'm just I love him as a character, and even in 20 years, if we're still making films in 20 years, and if we're lucky enough to live that long, because we never know what's going to happen, but if they're we're going to reboot the Punisher, I want that job. Not to be the Punisher. I want to direct it. I want to reboot the Punisher with them. Let's do it. Because it's so good. I mean, it's such a good anti-hero story, because we all feel this way, if there's things that people go through, and we know people who have been through these things where someone touched them in an appropriate way, and we're like, man, if I could get a hold of you, man, if I could catch you where nobody could see you. Punisher's just go ahead, take me down.
Oh yeah, I can think of a particular old man who hurt a friend of mine, who I'd be like, can I smash your head in with a bat?
Yeah, it's just
I'm not gonna, because I'm just not a person who could, but I honestly wouldn't cry if they died.
I think if the situation presented itself, I don't think I'd have trouble sleeping, depending on the person.
Yeah.
If they did something that nasty.
Yeah.
Now we're getting off topic. Let's talk about film.
Let's go back to film. We're getting into dangerous territory.
You're gonna get me in an emotional state, and I'm gonna go break some doors or something.
We're getting into dangerous territory.
But speaking of film, so when we come to this, everything they do.
Door is closed. And you have a cat.
What?
The door is closed, and that cat seems to be trying to get in.
Oh yeah, let's fix that, please.
Yeah, just
technical difficulties.
Just so you know.
There we go. They're fixed. When it comes to film, I'm gonna start with Jay. Oh no, you know what? You didn't tell me your favorite cartoon. I gotta
still haven't got a favorite cartoon.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember what I watched.
Okay, do you have any favorite American cartoons now? Because I watch stuff like Gravity Falls, Star versus Forces of Evil, Milo Murphy's Law, Phineas and Ferb. Those are all epic cartoons from
just
right
so
now.
everyone listening knows, I don't know anything she just said
I understood.
except Phineas and Ferb.
I knew that one too.
Phineas and Ferb is a great show.
It's actually
Gravity
pretty funny.
Falls is one that you should watch.
Gravity
You would
Falls.
enjoy
Sounds
Gravity
familiar.
Falls. It is good stuff. There's a lot of mystery involved in Gravity Falls, and there's a lot of things going on that it's one of those things that a kid can enjoy it on one level and an adult can enjoy it on another level, because there's stuff that you can really think about and puzzle over and intellectually try to break down and figure out what's going on that a kid isn't going to care about knowing. An adult is like, ooh, what was that? What is this? This is interesting. And you can really latch onto. So it's a lot of fun. Star vs. Forces of Evil is basically America's take on the magical girl trope, which is hilarious and fabulous and is really very ridiculous. And it's getting really intense now that we're getting into season 3. And I cannot wait for season 3. It's coming out soon.
I need a cartoon, Jay. Something.
Any cartoon from any era at all that you enjoyed that's not anime. He looks so pensive.
He totally watched Yu-Gi-Oh! When he was a kid, too.
I did watch Yu-Gi-Oh!
I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! We're not even, like, that was a good show.
I didn't really like it, though.
I loved it.
It was a pretty big fad at school, too.
It was a big fad.
And had all those cards.
How old are you again?
28.
Okay, that's right. We're all the same age. For some reason, I feel like you guys are so much younger than I am. I'm sorry.
I was friggin' homeschooled, so I don't know anything about this, like, fad at school thing. It wasn't happening when I was watching it, because I was alone at home, and I was obsessed.
I didn't have any cards, though.
I did. I'm not going to talk about that out loud,
I only had a few. I have more now than I did
have a lot
then.
of Pokemon cards.
I regret selling Drew all my Dragon Ball Z playing cards, but I don't talk about that either.
Don't listen, Drew.
I lose my masculinity.
that.
You know, I drive sports cards, so everybody knows. I don't have Dragon Ball Z
Okay,
cards.
you didn't lose any masculinity with anything you just said at all, because pretty much, basically, I
Talking
was
about
the weird one
cartoons.
out for playing with any of those, for having those cards and playing that stuff, because I was female. And people were like, "What's wrong with you? You're a girl. Go find some makeup." And I'm like, I don't actually own any makeup, but I own more Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards than you. So
I totally had female friends. Oh my gosh, this girl Amanda went to high school together. She was a really great friend of mine. Loved anime. We always talked about anime, and we played Yu-Gi-Oh together. They had these like get-togethers at Phil's mall. We'd go play over there. So I never cared if a chick was playing game cards. I'm like, yeah, what do you want to play? I don't care. Let's go. You know.
Oh my goodness, I definitely had the stink eye for some guys for being into superheroes and all that stuff. And then I would systematically prove to them that I knew more about it than they did, so they could shove off.
Okay, so next time, what you need to do is make sure you're wearing a dress and heels and makeup, and then say, I still have Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I can be a lady and be a nerd, you know, so it's totally fine.
I can absolutely do that, because...
Oh, I know you can. I've been,
Yeah.
we've been...
That's true.
We've done movies together where you were totally, like, the top-tier snob lady, and then the very bottom, you know, nerd. It's super fun.
Yep, that's what I do.
You know what? I had a friend come over recently, talking about our films. Let's talk about our films for a second. I had a friend come over.
You still got to think of a cartoon, because
I'm
we're going
thinking.
to end this
I'm
with you
thinking.
telling us
I
a
got
cartoon.
nothing.
So he comes over, and he's, like, borrowing a car part from me or something's going on. And he's like, man, I love the things you guys put together. I'm like, hey, man, we appreciate it. You know, we love what we do. We always try to make it better. He was like, but I got to tell you something. I was like, okay, go for it. You know, I'm ready for some like, your films could need da-da-da-da. Okay, sure, that's your opinion. I love to hear it. Let's do it. He was like, I hate that redhead guy in your movie. And I was like, what redhead guy? You know, and I'm like, oh, what, you mean Brian? Why do you hate Brian? He's such a good guy. He was like, nope, not an incumbent. He wasn't. And I was like,
oh,
what? He was like, he sat down on that floor, and he said he didn't want to take that little boy and that old man with him. And so I was so mad, and I was just like, well, all right, man, I appreciate that. He's like, I was just like, oh, I hope you trip and fall.
that's a compliment.
I was like, well, that means it's good, because that means
Yeah.
Brian's acting was on point. That means we sold the emotion we needed to sell. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
we accomplished.
that's what Brian was trying to play. We really need to let Brian know that he would be really excited that he managed to succeed.
Oh,
that
yeah,
well.
I mean, like, he was mad. He was sitting in my garage. He was like, I just want him to go away. I did not want him to be around. I was just so mad at him for that.
It's like me and the Bats character in Baby Drive.
Oh,
Whatever.
yes. That would
I
be,
did not like him
I
at
did
all.
not either. Baby
I just wanted him
Driver.
to go away. I was like, okay, it's going to be this one job, and he's going to be gone, and he wasn't gone.
He was there the whole movie.
Like,
My favorite part, though, is that they showed in that one of the trailers, you know, where she was like the girl. Oh my gosh, what was her code name? I don't even remember her code name in the movie. I will IMDb it real quick.
Haven't seen it.
Well, anyways, she like. Well, it's not really anything. I'm not going to spoil it because
Better not.
it's literally cinematic perfection. And
was-
if anyone wants to
Buddy and
ask me about that, I will definitely share it with you.
I don't know.
No, okay, so she's like laying into him because Bats is a real big jerk character that you're supposed to hate. And Darling was her name.
How did you forget that?
because they gave her real name at some point, and
they don't call her that very often.
It melted me.
And it's like such a. It's like because they're married, the Buddy and
no, they're not married.
They're not married.
No, wait, they are married. Yes,
they
right.
are.
Yeah, because we're getting married again. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, but they're like married, so it's like he calls her darling. So it's like, I don't know.
And they did such a when they kind of they touch into like their real life, like outside of like the bank robbery thing, which is it was so incredible, well done. And did you notice their neck tattoos, Jay? They said his and hers on their necks, and I never noticed until the diner. Well, anyways. Bats is the guy you go to hate, and Baby is sitting there really like docile and like really just kind of like in a pensive, like he won't look up. He's really mad because they're in the diner where the love interest of the film is in. Yeah. And Bats is actually, even though you hate him, he's a brilliant person because he could tell what kind of person that Darling was and what kind of person that Buddy was, and he was like, I know. I bet I got you figured out. I bet you're and like you can Buddy's face just melting. He's just like getting upset. When Darling gets angry and says something, and in the trailer, Jamie Foxx is like, "Oh, that's some Oscar shit right there." Like it was good because it was a huge, like you could feel the fire coming off of her.
Mm-hmm. So you did, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, man, and like you said, you hate this guy's character so much. It just, oh my goodness, and he wouldn't go away.
Even from the very beginning, you just like that first job. Something happens.
But not even the first job, just at the table.
Yeah, he was kind of a jerk. You're like, I don't like this guy. But then the first job, something happens.
Yeah.
You see that thing, and then you're like, oh, crap, I really hate this guy. He's pushed this over the edge.
Yeah.
So, like, anyway.
I look forward to hating this character.
Oh, but it feels so good. So, Jamie Foxx, if you ever hears this, you did an amazing job making me hate your guts. It was super great. But no, seriously, like, that movie, when I talk about cinematic perfection, it's sadly to say, it probably will not go off and win some Oscars this next year. And I because, they really kind of neglect the indie side of it a little bit. But I would put it on the best film, technically wise, that I've seen this year. And it's definitely my second favorite film of the year. And they're really tied of this year. John Wick 2.
I knew you were
and Baby. Oh, yeah. Everyone knows I'm a John Wick fan.
Oh, yeah. Ridiculous.
Chad Stahelski.
Let's look at the posters on the wall.
Yeah. There's no camera on this one, but yeah, there's definitely John Wick posters and Jackie Chan posters. But no, seriously, like, John Wick kind of, because, like, so you see the posters, there's Police Story and there's John Wick and John Wick 2. Police Story gave you that big action when you saw all these things going on. It wasn't those fast cuts we were talking about earlier. And like you said, 10 different editors cut it in 10 different ways, and that's fine. But Baby Driver came this new aspect to where the music was just booming the whole film. The colors were booming the whole film. And so, like, when we filmed Ruination, you remember, I think it was the coffee scene in the.
I knew that was when you're gonna pull out. I don't know how I do.
I think we had Megan was wearing that yellow scarf, and that yellow symbolizes like a moment of happiness, a moment of bliss for in general, yeah, like the science of color, yellow is like that energy, the bliss or whatever. And then she removes it right before the big catalyst of the film, which we're not going to ruin if people haven't seen it. In Baby Driver, because of course they're going to date, yada yada yada. They're always wearing like a black and a white. Like Baby's wearing black and white, she's wearing black and white, and you can tell they're kind of like that. You can tell they're built around those colors with each other, and they did it really well. And when they went on a date, they showed only one date scene, which was super great. Mm-hmm. She's wearing a beautiful yellow dress in a dark lit room, and it was perfectly contrasted to the table colors and everything else going around them. And it was like, it was perfect because like you could feel it. And again, that's not like that's me after spending the last few months before Ruination, preparing and reading colors. It stood out to me so much. It was just so good. And then like you felt good, like. And then, like, there was, like, little things, like, where he had the hum in the drum, like they talked about in the trailer. Pulls his earbuds out, you can hear the ear whine that he has from, what was that disease? It's, like, an actual thing.
Yeah.
I thought he had a car wreck.
Tinnitus or tinnitus?
Tinnitus.
Or something similar.
Yeah. He did have a car wreck, and he has a hum in the drum from it.
Yeah.
And so he listens to music all the time to drown it out.
Yeah,
like,
I saw the preview.
Religiously. And even through the movie, you see that.
And you hear, all the time he has the earbuds, well, mostly. You're hearing the music he's listening to.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like
in the trailer, they show in the trailer where he's like his hands are making piano movements, and the guy is giving the orders of the bank heist. That's when you first meet Bats, and Bats is like, "How am I supposed to believe that phones over here heard a word you said when he's been listening to music the whole time?" and then because he doesn't realize what's going on, and so Kevin Spacey's character, I can't remember his Doc. I think Doc is his name. Yeah, so he was like, "Baby," and he just kind of like leans forward and pulls the earbud out, all nice, and he just gives this entire speech of like what's gonna happen.
He repeats everything that he
like
just said.
word for word, verbatim, and he was like, "Questions?" And I'm just like, "Boo." It was so good, and so like you really kind of got the feeling of you kind of understood what it was, and they did such a good job with. It really gave you, like, John Wick is a great action film. That's all it is. John Wick 2 is just action. It's just in your face, boom, boom, boom. I mean, kill count was through the roof. That's all it was. Baby Driver gave you more. It gave you emotion. It gave you, like, you legitimately cared for Baby, and you legitimately cared for the Debbie. As people, you're like, man, like, this is, like, they did such a good job in such a small period of time. And then so you've got the action, you've got the emotion, you've got the story, you've got the colors, you've got the cinematic goodness, you've got the soundtrack, which is just, I mean, booming the entire film. The soundtrack is going and going and going. Like, there is just so much to this film that makes me love it so much. Like, it's going on the wall. It's going on the wall of fame of the posters. I'm ordering it this weekend, actually, because I want it out there. I loved it so much. So, like, colors and sound for that movie alone, they pulled me in. Mm-hmm. I could not like break my excitement for the film. I couldn't leave the seat. I had to pee the whole film. we went to dinner beforehand, me, Jay, and Melody, and I drank like 3 or 4 glasses of water. Didn't pee before the movie for whatever reason, and so stupid. Yeah, I know. The movie starts, and I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom, and from the very beginning, I couldn't move because, like, I mean, the film opens up and boom, you're in it, and it just does not stop, and it's so much of a fun ride.
I got so many movies I need to see right now, and I'm so broke.
I will take you to Baby Driver. I'll go see it again. I don't care.
All right, let's go.
I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
I want to see Baby Driver again.
I think I'd appreciate the second time more so because I was noticing more so the story, I guess. Mm-hmm. So like I didn't really catch. I caught the laundry room colors with the dryers, but other than that, the colors didn't pop to me. I was more focused on the timing of the music and the actions.
And it was so good.
Like during like you're talking about the date scene when they're having dinner. And like the camera's circling around both of them, so it's like you see her face, and it circles his face.
The way they did it, I mean,
and then like, but the music's playing the whole time, and then like they'll clink glasses together at the exact moment, and then there's another part where he like twitches his head back at the exact beat of a song, one of the moments, and I'm just like,
I don't know if I told you. I told a few people. I watched a lot of interviews on Baby Driver already, and they actually wore invisible earpieces so they could hear the song that had to play during that scene, so they could do everything to the motions. And I'm like, that is so much fun.
That's unbelievable.
When we make our film this year, our first feature-length film this year, and we go to make another one, we are gonna get invisible earpieces. We're gonna play music on set. We're so doing it.
I've always wanted to do that.
Like it was so good, and I tried not to bother you like during the movie because like I was so excited. Like
that is a pet peeve of mine. Don't
I know. Me too. Like me too.
Sit next to me during movies. If you're not right next to me, I won't do it. And if I know you don't like it, I'll try not to. But I have a really bad tendency to, even if I don't say anything, just start like, smacking your arm sort of thing.
It's one thing to maybe do that, but it's another thing to sit to actually talk and ask questions while the movie's playing.
I won't ask questions.
Yes, I didn't do that. I was just like, Jake, did you see the colors? And I'm done. I'm like back to it.
See, that's the kind of thing that I do.
It's like when you try to have a conversation.
Yeah, no conversation.
No.
Did you see that? That's all I needed.
The room's dark. There's a giant screen in front of us.
Let's enjoy it. Yeah, no, absolutely. I would love to see it again. I saw John Wick twice. I saw it once with Melody and Drew, actually, and then I drove out to Maryville and watched it with Jay one night because I wanted to see it again. And I just loved. There was so much about that film that it had a lot of technical perfection to it too. But like, so as a technical perfection, action-filled film, it was great because they did the same thing with music. They had like an orchestra playing or classical music playing. And whenever John was shooting, the beat of the drum was supposed to be hitting right there. So his gun was the beat of the drum in the song.
That is fun.
Baby Driver gave me more. And I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan. We all know this. I love Keanu Reeves. But like Baby Driver gave me more. So me saying that, I have to say that I like Baby Driver more than John Wick 2. And I hate to say that because I love John Wick, but it was just so good.
Wow.
Story, emotion, energy, and technical perfection was just so well done.
And so you haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, correct?
I did see Wonder Woman. He hasn't seen Wonder Woman.
So you've seen Wonder Woman, you haven't. Because there were some things, us talking about the technical perfection of this and me being more actor side of things. I don't get pulled into the technical side like you do,
Right.
like you guys do. Not nearly as much. I know it to some extent, but I'm more for the acting. And so I was thinking about movies that pulled me in on those aspects. And there was something about Wonder Woman that, the first thing is, I have no knowledge of this, but I can tell you almost for a fact, I'm sure, that working on the set of Wonder Woman must have been wonderful. It must have been an incredibly pleasant set. The director must have been incredibly in tune with her actors, because I can see that in their acting, especially in a couple of moments that came across so natural that I know they were. Movements that I know were not scripted. I can see it there. I can see that movement, that motion, that moment, there was nothing scripted in that. There was nothing acted in that. That was a true motivated movement or moment. And I cannot think of another movie that I have seen where movements were so real. And it wasn't every movement, but there were several points that stick out in my mind that it was fascinating to watch. Weirdly, it pulled me out a little bit to see it, but I think that's just the actor's side of me going, oh, that was so perfect. Like, that wasn't scripted. That wasn't supposed to be there. And you only get that when actors feel comfortable enough and know their director and the atmosphere they're in enough to know that they can move freely. Every movement doesn't have to be this perfectly scripted thing of where it's going. You can move your hand here or there with natural movement. And I loved that came out. I also really enjoyed, and this is from a girl point of view, but they filmed her, Wonder Woman herself, they filmed her the exact same way they film male superheroes. And I walked out of the theater saying that, and
there was no focus on like her female parts, like her breasts and her
there
butt.
was
like,
no
they didn't do it like at all.
Butt or boob shots. Also, that skirt is incredibly short. I had to, the second time I watched it, I had to specifically try and find a moment where I have any idea what was under that skirt.
And it's only once, I think. I even got a glimpse when she's fighting in the Nazi tower or whatever.
Yep. That one moment where you have any idea. And that just, as a female actor who just laments the characters for female actors that exist out there, I was so excited. I was like, yes, please let this be the direction we're taking female characters, because it's been getting better-ish the last couple of years. But this was one of the first well-developed, like, in-depth characters that I've seen in a long time. She actually had some depth to her. It was there. And she wasn't filmed where it was focusing on the fact she's a woman. It wasn't filmed around the fact that she was a woman. I mean, the character, yes.
No, yeah,
obviously, a bunch of it is on her being a woman, because she's Wonder Woman. She's grown up on an island of nothing but women. That's going to take part in it. But she wasn't filmed for it, which most girls are.
Most girls, yes, absolutely. Now,
there are other films, but I haven't seen as many films as you, so I'm sure you can pull up stuff that I can't think of.
Oh, no, it's absolutely... My biggest complaint right now with Wonder Woman, now, as it's being taken worldwide, like, as people are talking about it, it's a first strong female lead, and I'm like, skirt, stop right there.
I wouldn't say it's the first, but it is one of the better strong female leads I've seen in a while.
In a while, absolutely, you are correct. For the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Sure.
Since I've been acting.
Okay, yeah, okay, absolutely. I think I can agree with that.
Yeah, the characters that the characters that I've been saying that I'm looking towards what is going to be in my future on acting, Wonder Woman was the first one where I've been like, yes, this. Can we follow that?
Because I think about strong female women. I think about, I think about, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank right now. And I shouldn't be drawing a blank. Because I love her. It's like Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley in Aliens.
Okay, yes. That was good.
She set the bar for badass women.
Yes.
And I say that very happily because I'm a Linda Hamilton fan too, from Terminator 2. Like, she was just that tough, brooding, like, it's going to be this way, and we're going to do this. Like, she did such a good job being there. And I would say, now we're going to get into touchy territory where...
That's true.
I would say, like, Uma Thurman had it for a minute with Kill Bill. She did really well. But Kill Bill wasn't well received because people didn't appreciate its nostalgia of old kung fu films. They kind of hated that aspect, so she lost that limelight as a strong female lead, in my opinion.
And there have been movies that have had strong female characters, but it seems like the industry is having a hard time understanding that when we say we want a strong female, we don't mean like physically tough. We mean actually well developed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Strong of character.
You know who I think is also getting like as strong a character as a character. You may not have seen her much because I don't think you watch the show. I don't watch the shows that she's in. But Taraji P. Henson or whatever.
What has she been in?
Did you see The Karate Kid with Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
She's the mom.
Okay. I liked her.
Yeah.
She's great. I mean, I've seen her in other things, and she's really good. And I really believe her when she acts. I really do. I haven't seen her. She's in really popular this show called Empire, I think, or something.
I know the show. I haven't seen it though.
I don't know. I could be wrong on the title.
There are some very strong female actresses out there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's definitely one of them.
I mean, I can think of numerous great female actresses. I just feel like they're not being given the characters they deserve. They could do amazing things. And so it's nothing against the actresses who are here right now. I mean, so many of them I absolutely idolize and I love them. It's just the industry is not giving them enough. They could do amazing things if you just would hand them a script worthy of them.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's like I have my qualms about Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel being played by Brie Larson. I don't know how I feel about it.
I mean, I had qualms about what's-her-face playing Wonder Woman. I can't remember actress' name to save my life.
Gal Gadot,
really bad considering I am one.
Right, yeah, no. I think I supported her being in it from the start.
I wasn't sure, but I was hopeful, and so that's where I am on Miss Marvel as well. I'm unsure, but I'm hopeful.
Like, I think female actresses that I would recommend that, like Michelle Rodriguez. If you've seen her in, like, her older things, like Girl Fight, I believe, was one of them. It was good. It was gritty. You felt like she had that raw emotion, just nastiness about her.
That's from Fast and Furious? Is that thinking of the right girl?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. In Fast and Furious, she's not that great. And that's not...
I love that actress, though.
That's not a fault of her.
Yeah.
She even said something about quitting Fast and Furious. They don't put a little bit more focus on the female cast, which I'm like, hey, go for it, girl. Yeah. But Charlize Theron played the villain in Fast 8, and she did a great job. I thought she was super impressive. I've always liked Charlize Theron anyway, so I mean, I'm open, but it's true. I think it is a, and I'm not one to get on this soapbox. And Jay's awful quiet over there; he's just looking at me. But it is a very male oriented. I feel like
it's a
industry.
Soapbox I live on.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Because you're a female and
yeah.
You're a talented actress, and I think Megan's a great actress, and I think I've worked with a few other actresses that. I've been around other female actresses I couldn't stand, and I've seen their performances in other films I could not stand, and they think they're the best, and you don't ever come off that way, and you're always listening to what I say or what Jay says or what we even asked your opinion, like, hey, what do you feel about this? Like, how does this feel? And we want to hear what you think. Like, I didn't like this. Okay, great. Please, by all means, do it until you feel like happy with it, because I liked what I heard, but if you feel like you can do it better, give it to me. Like, I want to hear it,
Well, I don't want to give you something that you can't work with properly, and that's one reason why I like working with you guys is I want that feedback. I'm not the best. I'm still learning, and I think that's part of being an actor, though, is you never stop learning. There is no point where you have perfected your craft, and what's interesting is any actor I've ever seen interviewed has said this thing. I mean, like, the greats, like Sir Ian McKellen will straight up say, I'm still learning. And I've seen things where he has said that, and I'm like, seriously? Because
yeah, right.
God, I'd like to bow down at your feet for acting,
yeah, come on, man. Like, if I had to sit down and think of an actress or an actor that I thought was just really good and really underappreciated, and I will say this, and a lot of people look at me funny when I say this guy's name, because most people don't know his name. They know who he is, don't know his name. It's Anthony Mackie.
I think I do know who that is.
Who is he?
I'm not going to say because I'm going to embarrass myself. Oh,
it's okay. He was the Falcon in Captain America films.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's great because I've seen him in other things, not just playing as Falcon. I've seen him in a movie called The Night Before, where it's like a super stoner comedy Christmas film. Mm-hmm. And it's really good. He was in Pain and Gain with Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson. Like, I've seen him in other things, and I feel like if someone would give him a shot and gave him a lead, he could do it really, really well. Female actresses, I'd like to see Michelle Rodriguez push a little bit harder. I haven't watched The Assignment yet, which actually happens to have Sigourney Weaver, who I love and adore, and Michelle Rodriguez. They're the main people in it, and I want to see it. I just haven't brought myself to see it yet. But if you had to pick like an actor or an actress you feel like is underrated and underappreciated, who do you think that would be?
Oh,
Jay better start
great.
thinking about this.
See, I always pull up really weird names or people.
That's
when I do this
fine.
because, I mean, and for another thing, I'm awful at knowing people's names, as I already stated.
Oh, just say the character. I'll help you. I'll probably know them.
Okay.
I'm a nerd like that.
I'm off of seeing movies.
I don't know about ones that are underrated. I mean, I don't really know how anyone is rated. I know who I like.
Okay, well, who do you think should get more work then?
Matthew Gray Gubler.
Give me something he's in.
He is. Oh, there's only one thing that you would know probably. He's done a couple of smaller independent movie things, but he is in Criminal Minds as Reed. He's the genius kid. From
Yeah,
Criminal
no,
Minds.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's Matthew Gray Gubler. And
I think he would make a great serial killer.
He would.
I feel like he'd make a great horror villain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm not saying that's where he should stop or peak because he has great ability. I love him. You are absolutely right. He's really good.
Yeah.
And he should do more. But you know what? He's such a staple character in Criminal Minds. He's making a killing
He's
anyways.
actually, in this newest season, he's actually managed to talk to them and work his way into a not every episode aspect. Criminal Minds has gone downhill. They fired the guy who plays Hotch, and the guy who played Morgan quit. Like,
Yeah, Shamar Moore, he quit. Yeah.
he quit, and then the guy who played Aaron Hotchner got fired. And
She whispered it was stupid, you executives.
well, I mean, I haven't heard the full story, but
Right.
I don't know. Apparently, there was a fight of some kind between him and one of the directors, and he got really passionate about it. But I feel like if he was arguing with the director over the way his character was being taken, considering how long he's played that character, he was probably right. But I don't know the story, so
You know what? I mean, that show's, 11 seasons deep now? Yeah, absolutely. You can't come on as new director and say, you can't be this way. You've been the same guy for 11 seasons. I just want you to give me a little bit more emotion here or a little bit more emotion there. That's all. You can't change a character that's been that stapled that way for so long.
I don't know what the argument was about, but I know he ended up, like, kicking the guy or something in some way.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's
I'd fire
why
him
he
too,
got
I
fired.
guess.
And so I don't know how violent that got or what happened, but I feel like I've seen this guy in a lot of stuff for a while, and I feel like if you manage to frustrate him that far over his character, chances are the guy was trying to do something that wasn't true to the show or the
That's
character.
very possible.
But I don't know the story, so I can't defend either way. I really have no idea. But I'm sad to see his character go because I loved him. And so now that really, Hotch, Morgan, Reed, they were the staples of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that they're gone, Reed has kind of worked himself. Matthew Gray Gubler's had the character worked so it's not in every episode, and he can try to pursue other stuff. He's had a couple of more indie-style movies come out not long ago, mostly comedies. I haven't got to watch any of them, but I follow him on Twitter, so that's why I know this.
Right, I'm not really big on comedy, so I wouldn't go chasing it down.
Yeah, I'm not a comedy person either, which is why I haven't watched. But I've watched the previews for some of them, and they're great. They really look entertaining to some extent. It's not really my humor, but he does great, and I would really love to see him in more stuff. I'd love to see him in something that's a little more action-y or thriller-y, maybe. I would only watch the previews for the thriller one, because I can't do thrillers, but I still think he'd do a good job.
Do you have a female actress? Or obviously a female actress.
Yes, I do. She plays in Daredevil. She's the nurse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
She is good,
She actually is in a lot of things, and
She
I know
is.
her name. But
I originally
it's
saw
running
her
away from
as
me right now.
Mimi in Rent. That was the first time I saw her. In the Rent movie, she is Mimi. She was like the only one who hadn't been part of the Broadway cast that actually ended up in the movie. I don't know why the original Mimi couldn't be there, but she did amazing. So that was the first time I saw her. So when I saw her come on Daredevil, I was really excited because I always loved her.
Rosario Dawson.
There it is. I knew she had a name that I had a hard time pronouncing.
I can't believe I forgot her name because I love her in so many things. She's in a lot of things that I own. She was the Batgirl voice in Lego Batman.
I didn't know that.
Yep. She did the Wonder Woman voice in Justice League Dark, which happens to be phenomenal.
What is that?
It's one of the animated Justice League films.
Oh, that's right. I've only seen like 2 or 3 of the new animated series, but they just came out with a box set that's actually not ridiculously expensive with all like 20 of them or something, or 20, 50, however many there were, and me and one of my friends are going to go in on it. Really excited.
Nice. Yeah, Justice League Dark was the first animated one that featured Constantine,
Ooh.
and I happen to love that character a lot.
Constantine is probably one of the DC characters that I know the least about, and I seriously know that Abraham Lincoln was once a DC superhero.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a universe, man. So I know too much about DC Comics, obviously, and for some reason I don't know much about Constantine.
Yeah, she was in like the movie Rays that I watched. She did the voice of Artemis in the Wonder Woman cartoon 2009. She played in 7 Pounds with Will Smith, which happens to be a phenomenal movie.
Good movie, and that's right. I forgot she was in that. She was awesome in that.
Let's see. She was in that Grindhouse. I don't know if you saw Grindhouse. That's not really you guys' thing.
Not really.
And then she was in, the Death Proof from Grindhouse, the Clerks movies, which I didn't really like that much. But I like her a lot as an actress, and I do feel like she has incredible potential. If someone would give it to her, it'd be really good.
I think she's finally getting some chance to prove herself in this new Marvel TV verse, because she's in multiple. She's not only
she's in Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she pops in all over.
Yeah, she pops in all over. She should end up being Luke Cage's girlfriend eventually, if she's not already.
I think so, yeah.
So I haven't watched enough Luke Cage. I've only seen a couple of the first episodes because I got onto an animation kick and I have not managed to get over it yet. So I'm not watching live TV.
I think Rosario Dawson is underappreciated. I'd like to see Zoe Bell. You guys wouldn't know her, but she's a stunt performer a lot. Did a lot of stunts. She was in the Death Proof movie with Rosario Dawson. She's in a movie called Rays. She's really good and underappreciated in my opinion.
Do you know who the actress in? She's been in a handful of things, but in Sucker Punch. Did you get to see that?
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
I didn't like
the
it.
lead in Sucker Punch.
I think I love that movie for its
I thought it was really boring.
beauty.
I
just
loved
pretty.
it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
didn't finish it. I fell asleep.
It's kind of a niche movie. Like, you kind of have
I was
to...
hoping I was
either
part
like
of
it
that
or hate it,
niche,
yeah.
and I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I'm so sorry. I was.
Emily Browning is her name.
I feel like I haven't seen her in enough stuff. She was a lot of fun in that
Oh my
movie.
gosh, I didn't know she was in The Uninvited. I actually watched it. It's a horror movie. You guys probably wouldn't even see it, but she was in that. I didn't even know. Yeah, I think that she could, if someone would give her a little bit more love, I think she'd be okay.
Mm-hmm. Actually, pretty much all the girls in that movie I thought did a good job, and I feel like they all need more work. They were all. I really enjoyed watching all of them, especially the two main girls.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you another female actress that I really like a lot is oh gosh, I'm probably gonna butcher her last name, but it's like Carla Gugino. That's probably not right, but she's in like 95 films or something crazy like that. I mean, like,
Who is she?
did you guys watch Smallville?
Yeah, I did.
Or no, not Smallville. Sorry, I misread that. Nashville.
Oh no.
She was in Night at the Museum. She was Rebecca in Night at the Museum.
Rebecca. Which Night at the Museum? The first one?
I don't know.
Why you don't be done with the movie?
We're not doing a movie. Can you go back upstairs and play your game? We'll make ice cream in a little bit, I promise.
No.
We're trying to record something right now. We're recording
It's
without
on
cameras.
right now.
No.
Go.
He's seeing how far that being cute and knowing it'll get him.
Yeah, and he's gonna hate it eventually.
It's gonna bite him in the butt.
She played. Did you guys see San Andreas with Dwayne Johnson?
Maybe?
Oh.
That sounds familiar. I like Dwayne Johnson, so probably?
She played his wife in San Andreas.
Oh, that chick!
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen her in a few things. I like her.
I like her a lot. I feel like she could really.
Your phone weighs like nothing.
It's even got like a Defender case on it too.
It's like nothing. Like,
Yeah, they're like. How old is this thing? I'm just kidding.
it's S7!
I think it was like a brick. It's my mug. You just hit him with it.
Anti-theft device.
Anti-theft.
Just chuck it at him.
Okay, so
This has gone all over the place. We started with Dragon Ball Z.
I know.
We've gone through Tom and Jerry. Then I got off of my Gravity Falls kick. Then we curved around to superheroes somewhere in there. Now we've come back up to like actors and actresses.
It's all the
and
same.
stuff.
it's all the same.
It's all media. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, so it's our first try at this, so we'll see how it goes.
I think this is how it has to be,
Yeah, I've enjoyed myself.
because there's no way we can do this any other way.
I think that if we really if we had a focused topic when we started, instead of just
Perhaps.
accidentally talking about Dragon Ball Z when the recording got started,
Mhm.
we could focus on something.
That's true.
And we'd have to make it shorter, though, and we'd have to remember to stay on topic.
Oh yeah, we're bad about that. Now, okay, so ultimate question before I come back to your cartoon, which you're still
I
waiting
got the
on
answer.
over there. But
Yes!
you do have the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
No. It's
No,
we're
gotta
going to
wait.
end off
the
with
ending?
that.
Okay,
we're going to end off with that.
It's the gift for
there's
making it to the
been
end.
anticipation building.
Dun dun dun. Okay, so when it comes to film, we had a discussion a little bit ago. I want to know, like, what really makes you decide to see a film, Jay?
makes me decide to see a film.
Like when you see it, like what makes you decide if you want to go see it or not, or what
The
draws
trailer
you
looks
into
awesome.
a film?
Usually visuals when it comes to trailers and stuff, like the visual of the film and the apparent what they're promoting as the emotional aspect is generally,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like a good example is Man of Steel. I did not like that movie, but I really liked the trailer, and I really wanted to like that movie because it was so awesome. It was like the visuals it had like him just floating in the water. And I was like, oh man, it's gonna be really deep and awesome. It's gonna really explore the character of Superman, and it didn't. And I was like very disappointed by that. I was like,
now, do you think you might have expected too much because of the trailer? Or...
Yeah, but you asked me what makes me go see a movie.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay,
and that's
sorry.
the answer. Like the trailer or a poster, I don't know, some kind of whatever advertisement there is, draws me in either visually or the supposed emotional aspect of the movies I'm going to talk about. But
no, yeah, absolutely no.
So I really wanted to see. My point is, I wanted to see Man of Steel for that reason because I thought the trailer was awesome, and I thought the movie was going to be just more of that, and it was going to be really cool, but it just wasn't.
I had the same.
It was
thing
very
happen to me
disappointing.
with
It was
Man
very
of Steel.
disappointing.
I really thought they were gonna, because of that trailer. I'm derailing us again. I really thought because of that trailer that they were gonna take it. I've read a really great origin stories comic that shows actually his time, like post college, working at the Daily Planet, where he is traveling around the world and ends up like on these boats in the Arctic and like doing all these odd jobs, and then it actually kind of transitions into him deciding to be a reporter, but he ends up being like a war reporter, and he ends up in Africa during like this time of civil unrest, and he actually ends up saving this guy who's running for president to try and like calm things out and trying to bring peace back to his country. Ends up saving this guy, and it's a really great story. And that guy he finds out about Clark's powers, and he ends up being the one that inspires him to actually become a superhero and do more with his abilities.
That sounds
and it's
really
a
good.
really in-depth, beautiful story. And when I saw that trailer, I thought that's what we were going to get.
Yeah, because he was in a boat, right? He come on.
Yeah, that was so cool. Like he was saving the oil guys from the whatever was exploding. And I was
Which
like,
is
dude,
how this comic starts.
And he's like the mysterious unknown super guy who can carry and save people, but then he just kind of disappears. And I was like, that's really cool. And
that's why I thought we were going to get that comic, and I was so excited because it was such an amazing comic. And it ends with him going back home to Kansas. Jonathan Kent has already died, and so it's just Martha, and they end up working together to figure out the costume of Clark Kent. They end up getting one of his dad's old suit jackets that makes and she's like, you got to carry yourself differently. I can even see in that t-shirt that you've got a six-pack under there. Slump your shoulders more, make yourself shorter. Let's get some of your dad's old glasses with really thick lenses. He puts them on, he's like, Mom, I can't see in these. She's like, you have x-ray vision. You can see through that wall. You can see through those glasses.
That's epic.
And so it makes his eyes a little duller because they're like ethereal blue, basically. And he has to slump his shoulders a bit more, make himself a little more slouchy. She's like, you're going to have to live this character if you don't want people to figure out who you are.
That sounds awesome. Like, I want to read this now.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know what it's called. I found it once on a library shelf at my high school.
Wow.
I can probably find it again for you. Look it up. And it was really cool watching him and his mom figure out the costume. And they're the ones who figured out, they ended up pulling out, she's like, well, these are the fabrics that were with you when you crashed, and they seem to be more durable, and figuring out the durability and the strength of the stuff that was in, like, the blankets and things he had, and making the actual Superman costume from that, deciding how he was going to be Superman, what he was going to do, how he was going to represent himself, how he was going to represent Clark Kent. All of that went into the end of it, and it was all inspired by his time in Africa, and it was really cool, and you see him getting the job at the Daily Planet, and that's the end.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds.
I want to see this.
Pretty
I'll
awesome.
read this now.
That is the movie I thought we were going to get with Man of Steel because of the way that the previews were done, and I was pissed when I didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but I was expecting more. Than
Yeah,
I was like,
he wasn't as emotionally attached.
You're not as much of a DC fanatic as I am.
No, I don't.
Sorry, not many are.
So what takes you to a movie? What makes you want to see something?
I mean, I think everyone's desire to go see a movie starts with either previous knowledge of the characters and what's there, if it's being made off of something, so you know the story, you know the characters, you want to see them, or the trailer, always, because that's your first introduction to something. But for me, the story has got to be, it's got to give me, and I kind of hate trailers nowadays. I hate them. I deliberately will only watch one trailer from any movie. I will only watch one trailer. I refuse to watch any more.
I had a heart attack. So
because I don't want you to give me the whole movie in the trailer. I want the very first trailer they put out, the one that's meant to have the least content and the most grab, where it wants to grab you at the beginning and show you just enough of, look at these awesome characters, look at the potential for an awesome story here, bing bang, super short, and then that's it. I don't want any more than that. I actually started pausing my TV, like for the new Beauty and the Beast that came out. I would pause my TV if there was a commercial and wait so I could skip through it so I wouldn't watch it. Because, especially with that one, because I already know the story there.
right.
I grew up with it. All I had from this new movie that's coming out was these new visuals. I didn't want to see any of them. I didn't watch any trailers for Beauty and the Beast. None. Before going. I had seen like a couple of pictures, but I made sure not to see any of them. Because all I was going to get was I was going to get these new voices for the songs and these new visuals. And I wanted to make sure that I got to experience them all at once and that it was spectacular. But I kind of ruined myself on a few movies by going and watching all of the trailers. And I seriously ended up like ruining the twist of some movies because there'd be a scene where it looks like these characters are going to die, but I know there's a scene that hasn't happened yet because it was in the trailer. And I hate when that happens.
That is very tough. I don't, and honestly, I don't think that, I'm going to talk about the Baby Driver. I've watched every trailer for it, and there wasn't nothing that I felt like that happened that I didn't expect to happen. Like, I was still shocked. I was like, oh man, like, I saw this in the trailer, but it didn't make sense why it was going on, and now it does. It was done really well.
Those are trailers done well, and what sucks is that it seems like recently with a lot of movies, they're giving away everything in the trailer.
It's been that way forever, though.
I know,
let
but
me take
it's
you back
getting
to Fast and Furious. You happen to be a fan just like
yes,
I am.
yes.
2000, we got the trailer to The Fast and the Furious. You saw every pivotal point in the trailer before we got to theaters. And I watched every Fast and Furious in theaters. I haven't missed one Fast and Furious in theaters. Ever. I will follow the series all the way to the end, seeing every one of them on opening night.
I didn't get into them until Fast 5 was in theaters. That was the first one I got to see in theaters.
Oh my goodness.
I hadn't hardly seen them before that, and then like the year before that, I guess I caught Fast and Furious on TV, and I was like, I'm in love. Give me all of them.
Yeah, I had so much fun growing up on them, and they're not great. They're over the top, and
they
there's things that are frustrating about
Fast
them.
5, I think, was the best. But
no.
Okay, other than the first one.
No.
I really love the first one, but I really think Fast 5 was the best.
I think the fourth one was the best. 2009.
What?
Absolutely.
What? We will have this discussion at a different time.
That's fine. We will have a podcast on Fast and Furious. But I like the whole series. Even the slump of 2. 2's at the bottom of my list. It's the very bottom of my list.
Yeah.
But I like the whole series.
Are we including Tokyo Drift?
I love Tokyo Drift.
I like everything with Tokyo Drift except for that idiot's accent.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, the fact that he was, like, 32, he looked 24, and he was playing a 17-year-old was my biggest problem with that whole thing. And I like Lucas Black, don't get me wrong, but like he wasn't the right person for the job, I don't think.
No.
They could have got a more southern boy that was young and did it well.
That accent was terrible. Was it a real accent?
Yeah, it was definitely a real accent. It's actually worse on the interviews that I watched. He's like, yeah, man, I'm down in, back home. I got my bow and I'm out hunting. I'm like, oh my goodness, they pulled him out of a deer stand.
I'm from the South and I have dealt with Southern accents my whole life, and it makes me want to cry listening to him.
Yeah, but I love Tokyo Drift because, like, I liked really... Han's character more than anybody else.
Oh man, Han's character is why you watch that movie.
That's right, and then but it was also, I'm a big, huge car guy. You both know this.
Oh yeah.
I love going to street races. We were just talking about that recently. I think you and I, or somebody else.
I like cars. I prefer cars much more than I prefer boys.
Like it's less drama.
Yeah, it is. Seriously. I have friends who get annoyed with me because I'll be in a car with a group of girls, and only one of them will know me well enough to listen. And I'll go. And, seriously, we'll be driving through somewhere that has, on army base or something, and so boys in uniforms, and they're going, "Ooh, look at that guy! Ooh, look at that guy!" And I go, "Hello, beautiful." They go, "Oh, where?" And I'm like, "That Mustang right there." Usually it's not like that Camaro or that Charger, usually. But one of my friends is going, "Where's the car?" And all the other girls are going, "Seriously?"
I love cars, and so Tokyo Drift was the only one that featured the most amount of street racing and racing in it.
That is true.
Now I'm gonna keep this brief because we've drug this podcast out for so long, but I get so mad when I read people who talk about Fast and Furious, and they're like, we need to go back to the old days, all about street racing. I was like, did you watch the first film, by the way?
Oh, my goodness.
It was not about street racing
wasn't.
from the beginning. It was about a cop, or about a detective being undercover trying to bust a bunch of thieves.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a movie about street racing.
The only one that's about street racing was Tokyo Drift.
Yeah. And even then, it was still had its, like, dramatic in-service that you got from the Yakuza being involved and all that stuff. And it was fun. It was good, and I had a lot of fun watching it.
I just say, actually, the fourth one had a decent amount of, like, especially at the beginning.
They had that one race.
I guess that's true.
They had that one good race when they were trying to get in with the drug lord guy.
I guess that was the only real racing they had, but which also, no, I'm going to pull us off in a weird direction. We'll save this. We'll table that discussion.
Okay.
But I have a comment on that race in particular. There's something that happens in that race that pisses me off.
Oh, I could probably figure it out. But anyways, when it comes to film, I think, like, you guys know my collection's huge, and, like, you guys know I love film, and I've seen countless films more than once in theaters, and I've helped bump that box office sell up a few times. For me, like, when I watch the trailer, I gotta see enough to. I gotta see a believable. Excuse me. I gotta see a believable something from the actor, whether it's an action, whether it's their dialogue or something, and music plays into it. If there's not a good soundtrack song playing, the emotional energy isn't there, so I'm not really into it.
That's one thing that I didn't ever get to towards saying was that, honestly, if you have good music playing with your trailer, you're probably gonna get me, because all of my favorite trailers, the ones where, like, it was a short and sweet trailer, but it had that music, those are the movies I've always most highly anticipated.
Now, when it comes to me tearing apart a film, which I do often, we do this together, actually.
We do.
We did it earlier, as a matter of fact. We're not going to name names, but...
those are some bad horror movies, though.
Woo! Lord. But what I will say is, number one, I don't care what camera you use to shoot your film. I don't. I don't care if you use an iPhone. I don't care if you use a Sony Handycam.
I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
I don't care if you use the Blackmagic Cinema design. I don't care about that. What I care about is if I believe your actors and it sounds good. And it's lit well. I don't have to have the colors that I love. I don't have to have a great soundtrack. I want to believe your characters. I want to hear your characters, and I want to see your characters. That's it. And I will give you full opinions on anything else, because I'm not going to say, if you're low budget, we're low budget, or actually we're no budget. You know?
Yeah. We're about as low budget as you could possibly be.
Yeah, like we're almost poor, like, almost homeless making movies, But
just about.
When it comes down to it,
I think technically I might be, since I live in the houses I work on.
That's okay. You're in a place that we got plenty of couches here. But no, seriously, it's never about, like, if someone asks me my opinion, they're like, well, what do you think of the scene that I showed you from my film? And I'm not there to say, oh, it sucked. It was just trash. I don't want to see it again. I'm like,
that's not helpful.
Exactly, and it's negative, and I want to know that to me. I don't want to say your movie is just trash. I don't want to see it ever again. I want so
Tell
what
me
I say.
why you
I
feel
hear
like
myself
it was trash.
say that all the time.
Yeah, I say to
so
myself, I'm like, I don't want to watch it.
Tell me why you thought it was trash, so I can make a better one.
Exactly, or and maybe your opinion isn't as helpful as this guy's opinion, and so on down the line. Well, if I see something, I'm like, okay, so here's what I thought. Take it with a grain of salt, because I'm not being rude, but I think the framing was bad. I felt trapped watching your actors. I felt like this character wasn't given any emotion. It felt like just someone talking inside of a Walmart to me. Like, those things are important. And so, like, when we do dialogue, I try to make...
If I ever sound like I'm talking inside a Walmart, please tell me.
Oh, you already know we will. You already know. Because even Jay will be like...
Yeah. He'll do the dissatisfied sound.
There it is! We should, I'm going to get my text notification.
Somebody's phone vibrating? No. That's the sound.
That's the sound.
The dissatisfied of that shot sound.
Exactly. And everyone knows it when we work together, and it's so much fun because of that. Like, that's not fun because of your sound, but like...
I love that you didn't know you had that sound until our last shoot.
I knew I did it.
You just didn't know we had all labeled it.
I just didn't... I don't know what others perceive.
See, we don't ever take it offensively. We're always just like, okay, what do you want to see now? What isn't working for you?
That's just our key, that we need to change something that we're doing, possibly, or that you want to change something that you're doing.
Yeah,
so
it's usually what I
ask.
have. It's generally speaking, well, mostly I messed up, but it can be like, you need to step a little to your left. Or,
Yeah, it's one of those moments when we know we need to ask you what you need.
Yeah, it's not nothing terrible.
And I think that you and I have a great partnership when it comes to it, because like, you're sitting here with us, like, Jay's very, passive into himself at most times, and he doesn't want to say, like, I guess be like the bold person. So I'm the bold person, and he's the brain. So it's like brains and bronze in that aspect. But he, if
You're the bold person. Half the time that I act around, you're like, was that good? And it's always, yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good. Like, I feel like you never tell me I've done something wrong. Am I perfect?
Because, well, you asked me. You asked me beforehand.
Oh, that's true.
You're like, what do you want out of this scene? And I tell you, and I get it. And if I don't get it, I think I've only not gotten out of you like one time, and that was it. And I was like, it didn't come off the way I wanted it to come off.
Yeah, okay, I do remember that, because it always makes me nervous that I'm not giving it to you, because you always tell me I'm doing well. I feel like I need you to tell me I'm doing it wrong more often.
Well, the problem is we stand together before the shoot, and you're like, so what about this? I'm like, okay, here's what I'm feeling. And that's why I try to talk to everyone beforehand. I'm like, this is what I want to see out of it.
Yeah.
I need you to feel this way. I want to feel this way when you say it, and that's all I need.
You do let me pick your brain really well before scenes, and that does help immensely.
Oh, yeah, well, because, I usually write the garbage you guys are having to act out. I'm really sorry for that, but it's really important to me, because, like, I can say, hey, Jay, this is what I'm thinking of this shot, and, like, because I don't, like, I worked with Jay back in college, and I knew then that he was good at what he did, and he's only gotten better since, and we've all grown in the past couple of years we've been together. And my thing with Jay is, like, if I can just leave him alone, and he'll shoot it, and he'll look at it, and he'll be like, and I can focus solely on how you sound, and how I'm feeling from your gut. And, like, Reparation, I mean, you got an award for that, no matter how you look at it. You got an award for it, and you were great at it. I love watching that scene. Matter of fact, that scene is in my director's reel from you.
I still feel like that actually was probably some of the best work I've done for you was in Reparation.
It was just so good. I mean, like, you just had it. And I think that this next, we do the 7-day shootout, I want you to lead. I want you to be the female lead, and I know that you can do it, and that's the best part.
No
so
pressure.
If I'm like, yeah, right? So I'm like, so hey, Jay, I'm thinking of this shot. We shot Nightmare Child recently.
Yeah.
We may work on the title of that film, by the way. I don't know. There was this thing that I wanted to do, and when I told Jay how I envisioned it, he says, you know what? Sounds good. Let's try it. And he did, and it was great. And so I asked for him. Try the shot that I kind of want to see. If you see something different because you're looking at it, by all means, please do it.
Yeah.
Because I trust him. I trust his judgment. I trust your judgment. So what we wanted to do is when, not to give anything away, because in case people actually listen to this and want to watch the film, I don't know. But when the second round in the hallway,
yeah,
I wanted Jensen to appear very small. And so I didn't want Jay to follow him like he did in the earlier shot. I wanted him to get far away from us, to feel very looming, and it worked. I've seen the shot, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh my God, it looks exactly what I wanted. Because it feels so empty, and it's supposed to be the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's just so well done because it doesn't feel warming. And Jay, you were just so brilliant with that lighting at the very last shot, where you left the red light on in the living room and the blue light. So the whole film, you saw one light or the other.
Yeah.
At the very end, you see both.
Oh.
And it's really nice looking.
I haven't got to see this
happy.
yet, and I'm looking forward to it.
We'll get a rough cut done soon. I'll let you see a little look of it. But
I get to be so creepy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find a nice horror sting like James Wan used in the Insidious trailers for the very ending, because it's really good. It's really creepy. If you do it in a flash and it go down, it'll be a really quick thing and it's over. It's gonna be so much fun.
Oh, good grief! And I know what that last scene looks like, because I'm standing there and I'm already not looking forward to being terrified of myself.
Oh yeah, because it was creepy. Like,
I'm such a creeper.
The window scene got me going.
Oh, were you actually able to see me in that one?
Yeah, it turns out okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it ended up being really yellow, but we can fix that in post.
I wasn't sure that was going to come out.
That was tough. That was a tough.
Because you're literally just a figure.
Uh-huh.
And so when your like head swoops, it's like, oh gosh, like I'm not sure how to about this.
Oh man, I tried to make that as unnatural of a movement as I could.
It worked.
Because I tried to move my
Yeah,
head.
you turned it like this.
I tried
right?
to move. I moved my shoulders like this, and I moved my head like this at the same time, so that my head and my shoulders were moving independently in kind of like opposing motions. But one was a very sharp movement, one was a very fluid movement.
We should just change the name of the movie to The Shadow.
Doesn't that already exist?
I don't know.
We'll think about it.
Well, the hero movie exists as The Shadow.
Oh, that's true. That's
We'll
what I'm
think
thinking
about
of.
I don't know what to call it.
No.
But I tried to make that movement as unnatural and to give it both a shoulder and a head movement, so there was enough movement to get caught, because I knew I wasn't being seen very much, so I wanted to make that have multiple large movements in there. So I'm glad that came across. I still haven't got to see it, obviously.
I'll show you a few dailies here in a minute.
Okay, good.
But, okay, so we should wrap this up now. It's been quite a while. Thanks to
see.
everyone who ever made it to the end.
Congratulations.
Be amazed if you
The
did.
secret code is
Oh, good
Animaniacs.
heavens, I still gotta climb in your ass.
Animaniacs. Yeah. Was that it? Was
I think
that?
that's it.
Animaniacs?
Oh.
That's a good choice.
It
I
was.
didn't think about
I
that.
hadn't even thought about that show.
That's a cartoon from the old days that I have watched in the past 10
There
years.
were some inappropriate jokes in that.
There are.
Yes, there
Oh,
was.
Did you guys remember the one with where Dot comes in carrying Prince?
Yes. Oh my
Vaguely.
gosh.
That joke. Holy cow. Talk about a joke you don't get till you're way older.
Yep.
That's-
I enjoyed Animaniacs. I love Pinky and the Brain too. As always.
yeah.
Oh,
the
Pinky
whole-
and the Brain was my stuff. I wasn't a huge Animaniacs, but I loved Pinky and the Brain for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I felt for Brain.
Right. But all right, guys. Thanks for joining us. And if you made it to the end, congratulations. And the code word is Animaniacs.
You are now our favorite people ever. Comment, and we'll let you know that.
There we go. All right. Go ahead and wrap it up here.
Thank you for listening to Filmmaker Review.